Hey, what's good? When this is at 9 in the clutch, and I want to talk about a team that has really caught my eye as this NBA season's gone underway. And when it was just crazy how just at the end of last season, this team was talking about how they're falling apart, how this could blow up, how things are not going well. But talent-wise, they're able to compete for the top spot. Well, now this season they have a new head coach. The team is rejuvenated, they're gelled together, and they're just like tearing the league up by storm. And last night kind of proved it. And I'm talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, as at the time of recording, they're off to a 7-0 start. Last night, they were able to defeat the Milwaukee Bucks in a 114-113 win. And Donovan Mitchell, he was able to have, like, this was the craziest thing I've seen. So, like, on the last play, Donovan Mitchell, when he was getting the inbound pass, he barely caught the ball and was able to save it just so he doesn't get a backcourt violation. Came to dribble it up, and then he actually lost the ball again, nearly got stolen, but was able to gather himself, make a turnaround shot, and was able to hit the game winner with 0.3 seconds left to go in the game to be able to defeat the Milwaukee Bucks and to stay undefeated. And looking at this, I mean, it's just unbelievable how this team is like really gelled together because, as I mentioned, just at the end of this past season, there were reports how Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland could not get along, how their previous head coach, JB Bickerstaff, basically lost the team and they don't really respect him, and he ended up leaving. And then now the Cleveland Cavaliers end up with a new head coach in Kenny Atkinson, which I believe is an amazing hire because Kenny Atkinson has a proven track record of being able to take a not so good situation and turn it around, make the most out of it, make them a complete cohesive unit. I'm referring to during his time with the Brooklyn Nets, because during the time with the Brooklyn Nets, they were one of, if not the worst team, arguably probably in NBA history. There was like no star players. There was no people really for him to truly work with. And it wasn't until like he was able to have a D'Angelo Russell, who was coming off a failed first stint with the LA Lakers, came to Brooklyn on a trade. And looking back, like, just it was impressive how Kenny Atkinson was able to lead this team, give him a direction, and the team was like really gelled together and was able to make the playoffs. And it was actually impressive to the likes of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to see, wow, they got something going on up there in Brooklyn. And Kenny Atkinson, he's a really good head coach because he was able to turn a team with no direction, no draft picks, no star players, no nothing, and was able to revitalize D'Angelo Russell's career, have a team be completely gelled together and having lots of fun, and being able to make the playoffs and become one of the more exciting teams during that period right before Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving came to Brooklyn. And then now they were eventually able to become like a major top team, you know, which ultimately didn't work out, but that's a topic for another day. But my point is that Kenny Atkinson, he knows what he's doing, and he's able to make either a bad team, a contending team, or in this case now a contending team into a dominant team. Like he's really good at elevating his teams that he coaches, and that's why I have a lot of respect for Kenny Atkinson. And we're looking at this season. If we want to dive a little bit deeper, the numbers say that he's been doing an amazing job so far because they have an amazing and efficient offense, as they are second in the NBA in points per game with 123.1 points per game as a team. They are first in field goal percentage with 52.6% as a team, which is by far the most efficient. That means they're very selective and they take their shots very seriously. They're not just jacking up threes or just shooting a bunch of like backwards flip fadeaways, you know, just like just woo, you know, like all these different things. Like they're not doing that. They're being very calculating with their shots, giving it to the right guys who know they can make it, and having good shot selection, which is very key to be able to defeat teams like the Boston Celtics or the New York Knicks in their case. So that's very smart on their part. They're also really good at the three-point range because they are third in 3 points made with 104 so far in this NBA season. They're also second in three-point percentage with 40.6. So basically, they are shooting a lot of threes, but at the same time converting that at a very high rate. That's very key because there are plenty of teams that anybody can shoot a bunch of threes, but if you're not really good or converting them, that does you no good, and it ultimately will cost you in the long run. So the Cavaliers, they have that figured out, which at least up to this point, which I'm very impressed with. And along with that, they're also second in offensive rating with 121.9. So overall, they have one of the best offense in the league. And they happen to also be great on defense as well, because they're fifth in the NBA with 9.9 steals per game as a team, which is very key and important because one pass if the Cleveland Cavaliers are able to make a steal out of it and then get a fast break and go for a dunk, or it'll turn into a three, that can shift the momentum big time. And steals, definitely can do that, because if the point guard makes a pass and then it gets intercepted, or he gets pickpocketed by Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell, whoever the case may be, and then they're able to convert that, that'll shut down the opposing team's point guard or whoever, and they're going to be like mentally like off for the rest of the game. So it's very important that they're able to get the steals going and be able to get the offense rejuvenated for the Cleveland Cavaliers once they transition from defense to offense after the steal. They also are fourth in defensive rating with 107.7. So basically, the higher your offensive rating, the better, and the lower the number for the defensive rating, the better. So the Cleveland Cavaliers have the second, 107.7. That's actually low. That's low compared to all the other ones. If you have a high rating of let's say 120 in the defense rating, that's actually bad. So on defense, you want that number to be as low as possible. On offense, you want that number to be as high as possible. Just so we're clear on what I mean by that. They're also really good. Just overall, just as a collective unit, everybody knows their roles. Jared Allen, he's really good on the interior, being able to get the rebounds and being able to just be a strong presence in the paint. And looking at Donovan Mitchell, he's just their star player. He does a little bit of everything. He's their all-around star. Darius Garland, he's really good with their passing. Caris LeVert, he's really good off the bench, be able to give them that spark plug when they need it. And if we want to dive even deeper into what else the Cleveland Cavaliers are really good at, they are 51.6% from mid-range, field goal percentage-wise, which is second in the league at that. They're fifth in the league with 54 points in the paint per game. So basically, they're able to just bully their way through and muscle the way, using Jared Allen as an example, to be able to dominate in the interior, out-muscling everybody else. And they also are very quick and efficient offense by having 18.6 fast break points per game, being able to keep up with the pace so they can be able to wear you out either on the fast break, or they can just kill you with the three-point shots or their effective mid-range game. They have practically no holes in their offense so far, and their defense are also keeping up with that. It's not like they're really great on offense, terrible on defense, and it's another, for example, another KD team situation, like when he was with the Nets or now with the Phoenix Suns. No, this team is really well balanced. They have a really great offense, great defense, and it's leading to their perfect 7-0 start up to this point. And a player I did mention that I want to talk about who is really doing amazing is Donovan Mitchell. He is one of the best players in the league, arguably, possibly the best shooting guard in the NBA right now. And this 7-0 start is showing why, because he is he's leading this team, and I believe he can be definitely, if he can, God willing, keep this up and stay healthy, there is a possibility he can be an MVP candidate, because usually the MVP is given to the best player on the best team. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not saying they're going to go 82-0. I'm going to be crystal clear on that. But if they can be able to have either the first or the second best winning record, they have the number one seed in the league, and then Donovan Mitchell is able to keep making game winners, leading the offense, saving them from if Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Caris LeVert have an off night or whatever the case may be. If he can keep this up, I don't see a reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't going to be a team to talk about in the upcoming playoffs. I don't see why Donovan Mitchell shouldn't at least be in the conversation for the MVP award, because he's doing really amazing up to this point. At the time of recording, he is averaging 24.4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists, having 1.4 steals, 0.1 blocks, while shooting an even 50% from the field and even 40% from three-point range. So he's basically got really good numbers. He's crisp and efficient with his shooting while having 2.4 turnovers, which is not bad given that he's basically leading the offense, and he's not having 3 or 4 turnovers, basically just losing the ball every chance he gets. He's actually kept that at a respectable level given his role as a star player and carrying this Cavaliers team. So overall, I'm very excited for the Cleveland Cavaliers. If I was a Cavs fan, I'd be really looking into just what more can we do to keep this momentum going, and how are we going to be able to take care of Donovan Mitchell to make sure that he's ready and healthy and able to compete with the likes of the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Miami Heat in the playoffs. Because the Cleveland Cavaliers, like I said, talent-wise, they can compete with anybody. They have their star player in Donovan Mitchell. They have a point guard really well established in Darius Garland, who's really good at setting up the offense, and he can is just as capable of scoring as much as Donovan Mitchell. And also, he can be able to get the offense going with his amazing passing abilities. Jared Allen, he's very strong on the interior paint. He's still young. He's in his prime. He can only get better from here. Like Karis LeVert, like I mentioned, he's someone really good off the bench. There's so many good pieces around with this Cavaliers team, and I do believe like they can definitely make noise in the playoffs. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. If you're a Cavs fan, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the 7-0 start? Do you guys believe that this is maybe a fluke, or maybe down the road they might fall off and come back to reality? Or do you believe that this is legit? Kenny Atkinson has the answer for this team to be able to take the step further in the playoffs? I want to hear you guys out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe to the channel. I certainly love and appreciate every single last one of y'all. Thank you so much for your time. God bless, and talk soon.